Andy Bush.
Yes, good morning.
And he is a service officer. Yes. Good to have you with us, Andy, and thanks for joining us this Friday. And we got some big tunes. We're going to be talking about Veterans Day coming up. And before that, we should be talking with Phil, and he's going to be talking about some new bobbleheads that are coming out. Love to hear about that, just in time for the holidays. Holly and I, before you got in here, Andy, we were talking about Christmas shopping.
Oh, my.
I know, oh, my. Sorry you missed that conversation, right?
And my family's a big IU family, so.
Yeah,
you know.
there we go. Yeah. Holly's planning out her Black Friday shopping, and she does a big, Andy, that would be one that you would be screaming probably to leave, okay?
Yes.
That would be torture
It would be torturous.
for most males.
For most people.
For most males that are going to would be around that area. But anyway, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Let's thank our sponsors this morning, okay?
We'd like to thank Matter-U Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Lane Consulting, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, and Temple & Temple. Thanks to our great sponsors.
Very proud of our sponsors. I do want to say we had our first Lady Lions basketball game last night on WSLM. Kelsey Newkirk, she's a rock star. She did it by herself. Her husband couldn't make it, and I said, "Are you going by yourself?" She said, "I'm going to do it by myself."
She says, "I got
play-by-play, color and stats." She's a one-woman show. I'm telling you, just
That's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, and she did a fantastic job. So I think, and it was over at Mitchell, and the Lady Lions got the victory. It was a big victory, 62-35 win over Mitchell. So let's hope that the Lady Lions have a great season. So they're off to a great start.
That's wonderful.
So I think they even have another game Saturday. So I think Kelsey will. I think her husband will be back for that one. Okay, maybe so. So anyway, very happy about that. And we're going to go right now and see if we've got Phil on the line here. Maybe we can. All right. Good morning. Is this Phil?
Yes.
Hi, Phil. I wanted to make sure I got your last name right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Lauer.
Yes, Lauer. Yes. I was a little nervous. I'm sorry, but I do know you as Phil. Okay.
Sounds good.
Of course, I'm Becky. I have Holly, and I also have Andy in the studio with us, and we're all IU fans, and we're all excited to talk about our new bobbleheads coming out.
Sounds great.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you decide on what bobblehead and all the details about it, Phil.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Rockford, Illinois, and always been into collecting. My dad got me into collecting sports cards when he was growing up, or when I was growing up. He collected sports cards when he was growing up. The other co-founder, Brad, was working for a minor league baseball team in Rockford in 2003 when they gave away a bobblehead for the first time. We got one and thought it was pretty cool, so we started to go to circle bobblehead games on the calendar. Before we knew it, in 2013, we had more bobbleheads than we had space. We also sought out to produce a bobblehead of a friend of ours in Special Olympia and had a great experience with that. So we thought, hey, maybe there's an opportunity for a one-of-a-kind museum and company that produces unique bobbleheads. And so we sought out to do it. In 2014, we announced the idea, and 2019, we opened the museum to the public.
Well, and it's outstanding. What a great museum, and we love our bobbleheads. But how do you? Let's talk about creating a bobblehead. Do you work with the clothing first, or do you work with the face and getting the expressions? Because you do such a great job.
Yeah, so we pay attention to all the details. We have some graphic designers that will take our vision and put it into artwork, and so we can send that to the factory. And we often go back and forth to make several tweaks before we are satisfied with it. But once it looks great, the factory hand sculpts it out of clay, the initial bobblehead, and we go through changes with those as well. Once that looks great, we get it painted, and same thing, changes until it looks perfect.
Well, it's funny because right now we're all looking at the one where Bobby Knight's getting ready to throw the chair. And, I've had that in the studio. You're very generous, and you always take good care of me, and I have other bobbleheads. But that one, it's so funny because I've had so many people that has went and ordered that after they left the studio. They wanted one so bad.
Yeah, that's been one of our most popular bobbleheads on the sports side ever. Not just with Indiana fans, but with basketball fans and sports fans. It's such an iconic moment. So, yes, that definitely is one of our favorites. We spent a lot of time making sure that one was perfect, and that one's really resonated with fans and something that especially Indiana fans have really wanted to get their hands on.
Yeah. And and you've come up with some new ones, so let's talk about those.
Yeah, so we've had these in the works for probably a year now. We just were waiting for the basketball season to roll around and also putting some finishing touches on them. But it's the Bob Knight Championship Bobblehead Series, officially licensed with Indiana University, and also produced in conjunction with Knight Legacy, which is the organization that's carrying on Coach Knight's legacy with his son and others that were instrumental in his life. And so it's a series of 3 bobbleheads that fit together at the base and forms the Assembly Hall court, and behind it has those iconic red crimson Indiana University championship banners from the 3 seasons that Coach Knight led the Hoosiers to titles. So 1976, which is now the 50th anniversary season, a perfect 32-0.
Yeah.
That's the first bobblehead. Second one, 1981, and then the third one, 1987.
Awesome. And are they out? I mean, can people purchase those now?
Yeah, so this morning they just became available for pre-order, so it's the first time people can get them. Each one's individually numbered to 19760 for that 1976 season. They're $50 each, set of 3. And, yeah, it's a great collectible. It's only bobbleheads that celebrate his championships, and obviously a huge legacy that he's left on Indiana and on college basketball. One of the greatest coaches of all time, not just for basketball, but in sports in general. And so, yeah, Indiana fans have already started to pre-order them. Obviously, we sold a lot of the chair bobbleheads, and a lot of people are going to be getting this to go along with that chair bobblehead.
Right. Well, and this is something that whenever you can't help it, and even if when you talk, it's basketball season, you can't help it. His name gets always brought up. So this was perfect timing, and what a great way to recognize and to celebrate and to honor Bobby Knight.
Yeah, we thought it was a perfect way, and in each one he's in his championship outfit, and with even the hair color, that he had in the championship game for each of those years. We paid attention to all the details. His family was paying attention to all the details, everything down to his watch and the ring that he wore for every game, which was actually his Ohio State national championship ring. So, yeah, it was definitely a fun process to go back and look at the championships, and I think fans will have a lot of fun with these, especially the ones that may have attended Indiana at the time, or even maybe went to the championship games.
Yeah, well, I think I think everybody fell in love with Bobby Knight, but I think it's so cool to hear the hurdles that you have to, which I don't want to say necessarily hurdles, but like to get it okayed by IU. And then I love that you got it okayed by the family. I love that everybody's on board and that it's approved and stamped, by everybody. I love that.
Yeah, it definitely is, makes it even that much better. It takes a lot of work. Most people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes to try to get the bobblehead made, unless you're doing one of a politician or somebody that's in the public domain. There's a lot of work. You have to get all that, the approvals and the different check boxes. So that all takes time, and we were excited to get it out, especially this first week of college basketball for the 50th anniversary season. Indiana has a big game in Chicago on Sunday against Marquette. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for college basketball fans, and a great way to sort of reminisce and bring back those amazing memories of the 3 titles.
Right. Can you imagine if you had those for sale at a game? You wouldn't even. You would have to have one of those semi trucks back up. I mean, you would. I mean, every one of them. Yeah, everybody would be buying one of those. Yeah. So
if there's any available, I was going to say, if there's any available left, they will be available at games. We do sell to the organization that handles the merchandise at games. So if there's some available, we do expect them to be there at Assembly Hall.
I love that. Well, that's wonderful. But let's talk about now, because we've got shoppers in the studio right now. Okay, they're ready to lay some money down. And how do we get them? How can they order them, or what do they go? What do they do?
Yeah, so right now you can head to store.bobbleheadhall.com. You'll be able to just click on bobbleheads, and you'll see it right there at the top. It's the first bobblehead that we have featured, and so you can go on there, pre-order them. They'll be coming in early 2026, so they're just going into production now. You'll have them in time for the Final Four, which is going to be in Indianapolis. So it'll be a, sort of a full circle excitement for the state of Indiana with the 50th anniversary of Indiana's title. Yeah. I'm sure the NCAA will recognize that and do something special. So yeah, we're really excited about it. They're individually numbered, as I mentioned, and you can see the other Bob Knight bobbleheads. We do have a limited number of the cheer bobbleheads coming just before Christmas. Those were temporarily sold out. So yes, definitely something that people want to get their hands on now.
Right, and the chair one, they are coming, so you will have them back in supply. Good.
Yep, so they're coming late November, just in time for the holidays. We can't keep them in stock. They've been, every time we think we order enough, people buy them up.
I know a few of the people came through the studio here, because I had to watch hands making sure that they didn't walk out. Yeah.
Yes.
And they make great gifts, you know what I mean, on those, what to do, and they make you happy, you know what I mean, when you have one on your desk and you're just watching it and looking at it. Yeah, it's really cool for anybody's office, or just for, like, if you have a certain area that you sit in, or you're maybe a family room. They're really pretty awesome, especially even like a TV room. How cool, or if you want to go a man's cave, to have this bobblehead sitting there and then by your TV while you're watching IU, right?
Exactly, yeah, and a lot of fans have their little IU shrine, so this makes a perfect addition to that. And we see them, gifts are, now with the holidays just around the corner, Christmas in about 50 days, which is hard to believe. We see a lot of people picking up bobbleheads to put in the stockings or under the tree.
Let me change my scenario. Let me go back to my story there, because they're sitting around the radio listening to Don Fisher with their bobbleheads on a shelf, right? Is that right, Phil?
That's right, yeah.
We know that's, what is it? Turn down the TV and turn on Don, right?
That's right, yeah.
So that's what they're doing. I know they're listening to the radio on WSLM with their bobbleheads. So that's the ideal. That's the perfect thing to do.
It is, yes. And you can bobble the head, especially when Indiana does something good.
Yeah, that's right. If you do good, and you got Bobby Knight shaking his head, yes. Holly's doing that right now. Well, Phil, you're fantastic. Keep up the great work. And the museum for, what I want people to do, I love family time, and I love people taking their family and doing things. And right there to go to the museum. And the next big break, of course, it's a good weekend time. But if they, we'll be into Christmas break, and that'll be a little time. What are the hours of the museum, and what are the days that the museum is open?
Yeah, so we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 10 to 6, and weekends from 10 to 5. Only closed a few days, so Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving, Easter. But every other day we're open. So yeah, people bobble in from all over the country, all over the world, and over 10,000 unique bobbleheads, and we have activities like scavenger hunts, a Waldo bobblehead that hides and moves around. So definitely something for everybody. It's fun for all ages, and get a lot of visitors from Indiana and Minnesota, all the different regional areas. It's a great road trip, and a lot of things to do in Milwaukee. We'll give you recommendations. We have the world's best custard, fish fries, you name it. We can point you in the right direction. A lot of brewery tours. So a really fun city. People always leave, I think, really pleasantly surprised.
You got ears perked up, everybody in the studio. I made a bubble mistake. I said Christmas, but we got Thanksgiving. Where am I at? Because we've been talking about Christmas. But yes, Thanksgiving break. This would be fun road trip to do, and you could do it, and then have some fun there. And is there the where's the Paul Bunyan restaurant at?
That's in the Wisconsin Dells. So a little bit west of us, you can go to the water park capital of the world, and go to the Paul Bunyan restaurant.
Yeah. Got to go there. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the restaurant. Run up there, come back down and see my bobbleheads, and it's really a fun time. Definitely, we're going to plan a trip for someone here. Okay.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Phil, keep up the great work, and thank you I love our relationship, and we can't wait to see the bobbleheads, and keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see what's around the river bend. I am going to put in the suggestion box. Of course, I'm a huge fan, and he's just the best of the best, Don Fisher. You know what I mean? And I just, if there ever comes a bobblehead of that, I just, you know, I couldn't get it quick enough.
That sounds great. We'll add them to the request list and see what we can do. And we have more bobbleheads in the works at all times, so there'll be plenty more coming down the pipeline.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, keep up the great work. Thanks, Phil, and have a beautiful day, hon, okay?
Thanks, Becky. You too. Have a great day and a great weekend.
All right, thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, and Phil, the bobbleheads. I know, isn't that exciting?
Bobble on over.
Yes, you know, it's really a lot of detail there, and you look at the face and the expressions and how they choose which one, you know what I mean?
That three pack looks cool.
I know.
It really does.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool, yeah.
Especially
and then,
the old one, the 76, I like that.
I know, that perfect team. You know, Ken Benson, you know, I've talked with him a lot, and he actually comes and he hunts here in Salem, and he's come to our graduations and stuff, you know, he's actually he's done some radio announcing for me, done some games for me. And he's above and beyond. But you talk about a class act. They're just the class act, yeah. They're just beyond. So anyway, awesome, fun morning. Now we're going to go on and find out. We've got some things coming up, and 'tis the season on this Friday. Well, first of all, let's see what today is. We got to see what our holidays are, and usually they somehow resolve around food. So let's see what we're supposed to be celebrating. Fountain Pen Day. Anybody got a fountain pen? Oh, Holly,
I have several fountain pens. Yes.
Holly's a little walking, what do you call it, like, when you come to get your supplies, like
office supplies.
Office supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Holly's a little office supply person.
Well, I got my first fountain pen from Mom and Paul when I was like in my 20s. And so that's like my prized possession. But then this past year I inherited all of the fountain pens.
Oh, wow.
So I was excited about that.
Do you have like is that your all-time favorite one?
The fountain pen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I rarely use them because I don't want to mess up the tips.
Yeah.
But they're nice. I love them.
Andy, you got a fountain pen?
No, I remember either having one or playing with one.
Yeah.
But I'm left-handed, so it didn't work out well.
Oh, probably smeared the ink, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't
I
work out.
love that. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a superpower to be left-handed. I think it's so cool.
It really is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Fountain Pen Day, Hug a Bear Day. Let's hope it's a teddy bear.
A teddy bear. Not a regular bear.
Yeah.
Teddy bear.
Yeah. Little League Girls Day.
Oh.
Wow. The Little League Girls.
Okay.
Look at that. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hear it for the girls. Love Your Lawyer Day.
Are they winning?
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
How good. They're the only one that wins. National Bittersweet Chocolate and Almonds Day.
My daughter loves the bittersweet chocolate.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. National Jersey Friday. Oh, we should have wore jerseys today.
We should have. Our IU jerseys, we should have worn them.
I know, or Colts and all that.
Something. Yeah, all of it.
Missed it. National Medical Science Awareness and Appreciation Day. I love that. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. National Retinol Day. Okay, take care of your retinol.
Yep.
Okay.
That moon was so bright. I kept thinking, are we doing an eclipse again? Was the eclipse not the best?
I thought it was.
Wasn't that just like
loved it?
Crazy cool.
Loved it.
Notary Public Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's some holidays. Get out and enjoy. All right, we're getting closer to a big one, which is near and dear to our heart. Veterans Day, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So what do we got going on?
So what we're going to do, we're going to have a Veterans Day program on the 11th, 11th month, 11th day, and it will start at the 11th hour, and it will be on the northwest side of the courthouse lawn. We're going to have Boy Scout Troop 4029 will be attending the flag, as they always come through for us. Ricky Main will be giving the invocation. There'll be presentation of the colors by the American Legion. Post 41 here in Salem. Laying the wreaths will be done by the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary, the VFW Auxiliary, and the Daughters of the American Revolution chapter here in Salem. We're going to have a musical salute. Will be from a local Washington County resident, Tanya Webb. She's going to be doing our singing, and comes to me with everybody gives her so much praise. So I'm very, very looking forward to hearing her. Because I've not personally got to hear her.
Oh, you just wait.
And then my speaker this year, if he's a longtime resident and veteran of our community, is Delbert Ray. He'll be giving the speech. And then when we do the paying tribute to the fallen veterans, the VFW Firing Squad will be taking care of that, and then the American Legion will play taps after that. So, and then there'll be a dinner up at the American Legion, what used to be called the Bingo Hall, but it's up there at the old grocery store. There will be a dinner up there provided. The American Legion Ladies Auxiliary, along with some help from the Daughters of the American Revolution, will be helping them. So yeah, it should be pretty nice. It's going to be a little cold. It looks like it's going to be definitely going to be cold. But as long as the rain holds off, we will have it at the courthouse lawn. The only reason that we would move it is it rain. I think with the coldness, I think we can withstand that for a few minutes with what everybody's went through while we're here, honoring our veterans of. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're looking at. So if anybody has never have come to one of these, please come. We'll have programs. The Salem High School Military Club, a couple of the kids from the high school will be handing out American flags and programs. I have programs. Everybody's always been asking me for them the last couple of years. So, and this will be my third. I just now started into my third year, so this is my third Veterans Day program. Putting it all together. So yeah, hopefully everything will come out well. Please come out if you can. It is on a Tuesday. It's on the actual 11th. So it's a work day for some people, but if you can stop by, the program usually lasts about 30 minutes. We cut it down where it's down to the nitty gritty, especially with the weather. You never know what the weather's going to be. So, but yeah.
Love it. Let's go back and let's kind of go back for those listeners. Let's talk the difference. Explain the difference, which I do know, but I think it's always important for people to know. Andy and Holly, jump in too. The difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
That's funny you said that. We just I had a conversation yesterday with a group of folks that was kind of asking that and trying to understand that. Veterans Day, what way it looks is you should think of veteran. Memorial Day is, I get a lot of people trying to thank me for my service on Memorial Day. It's like, no, Memorial Day, we're here to honor the ones that we have lost, the veterans that we have lost. So that whole day should be thinking of that. Where Veterans Day, yes, when you see somebody that you either for sure is a veteran, or you see them wearing a hat or a shirt or something, yeah, Veterans Day is just to thank people who are still with us that maybe laid the ground like me. The people that was before me, I get a lot of praise for what I've done. It's like, no, I couldn't have done what I did if it wasn't for the Vietnam era guys or the Korea era guys or going back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Your World War II and World War I guys, they led a lot harder life than what I've had to, because they paved unpaved ground for me. And so, that's why I take it pretty serious. So.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to explain that, because I think sometimes we don't always hear the difference, and it's a little confusing on some. But I think it's so valuable too, and to thank our veterans. And how many veterans approximately do we have? Am I putting you on the spot?
Well, the real number is hard to say, because not everybody collects benefits,
and not everybody registered.
And not everybody, yeah.
Registered,
So, but right now we're tracking like a little over 1,600 for our county.
Isn't that awesome?
There's really probably more like 2,000.
Sure.
But there's some that are removed or don't sign up for, because the numbers that we get are because they're drawing benefits or whatever.
Sure.
There's a report that comes out from the state. Well, it's the United States, and it breaks it down by the state, then it breaks it down by the county. But yes, it's we're tracking just under 1,700, 1,600 some.
That's fantastic.
That are drawing benefits, and we're doing every day. I sign up somebody new.
I love that.
And so the amount of funds that we bring into this community, and there's one of me in every county, so it's not like I'm the only one doing this, but the amount of money that helps people pay their taxes, pay their bills, eat well, whatever. That's what we do. We try to get everybody every benefit they can get, and on into the surviving spouses. We try to get them as many benefits as we can. So that's just, we just tell people every day, just if you know somebody, send them my way, give us a call. We like to have an appointment so we can sit down and carve out some time for you. The phone number for my office that you can call is 883, it's a local number, 883-2063. That is the office number. 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, is when you would need to call, and that's when we're open, the way the system is. But yeah, please call if you know somebody. Send them my way if they're not on benefits, or just call to see if there's something out there. We got a lot of people that they just don't know.
Right.
And so, I just tell people, you just got to come in and let me see what you got, and we just kind of go from there, because you never know. With the VA, I always try to remind folks that the VA is not the military. So you have to sometimes tell them exactly what you're doing or what you've done or something, because a lot of people, we put a lot of emphasis on that discharge document, and it has a lot of information on it, but it doesn't tell the whole story. The veteran, tells the rest of the story. And so sometimes I have to pull it out of them, especially when we're filing a claim for the first time.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, it's like,
Yeah.
so I've learned to ask certain questions so I can get the information that I need to try to help them the best I can.
Which is very valuable, and the services are there,
Yes.
and they're there to be used, and that's where I hope anyone listening, even if you were a little unsure or just maybe not or whatever, come talk to Andy. The worst case scenario would be, no, I'm sorry, it just doesn't qualify, but a lot of times they do, and they just didn't realize that.
Yeah, and what we're supposed to do is let the VA tell that person that they're not qualified.
Okay.
It's not my job to say that.
Right.
Because I've heard so much of that in the past where somebody said, well, I was told I didn't qualify. I was like, well, who told you that?
Mm-hmm.
If it was not a federal employee, a federal piece of paper from the American Legion, or the VA, then whoever told you it was wrong.
Right.
Because that's nobody's job except for
Love that
person at the VA saying yes or no. So that's what we do. We're just an extension of our citizens, our veterans, and so we file whatever we can file.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know, and it's very important. So I hope everyone just heard what you just said.
Yeah.
No one can make that call until, but I love that you go to bat for them. They need that advocate. Everybody needs an advocate. That's just please.
The biggest thing that I see, we see folks that use VA healthcare getting any benefits. They're just using the health. VHA and VBA are two different animals. The benefits side of the house is where I come into play. We don't get into the medical stuff at all, the health side. We sign people up, but I don't get all involved in that. But I've got folks that'll say that, for example, they've been getting hearing aids for the last 20 years from the VA, but they're not service connected for hearing loss. Well, it's because you, the veteran, have to come over to the benefits side and sign up for it or apply for it. And the one don't talk to the other, or somebody's got all these things wrong with them health wise, but they're not service connected. They have to come see me so we can file a claim, because it's up to you to file a claim. And that's what we're trying to do, is try to educate people that, the ones that, especially the ones I've filed several this year for Vietnam veterans, have never ever filed anything in 50 or 60 years.
Oh.
And they're coming to see me now, and guess what? They're getting service connected.
Wow.
Because the stuff is out there. You got to do the paperwork. You got to have the evidence. You got to have the medical evidence to back it all up. But the fact is that there are services out there. There's benefits out there.
I love it. No, I think that's great, and I want them to get everything. They serve for us, and we. I think that's wonderful, and I want everybody to get their benefits, to get, to stay in the know, and to find out that. I think that's something. I think it's hard sometimes to, they've been through a lot. You know what I mean, and seen a lot, and I think it's hard sometimes to make that first call or step. It
is, and I can tell the ones that are just now coming to see me, they're really reserved, or you can just see it on their face. They want to tell you something, but they don't want to talk about it. That kind of thing. So, and a lot of times I tell them, you don't have to tell me. I just need something to call it something, and let the experts determine what it actually is.
Sure.
So a lot of times, we don't even try to get the fancy, what you actually have wrong with you. If you have a back condition, that's all I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a leg condition, we let the VA, we let the doctors and the examiners, determine what it is. And then they back that up with the medical evidence to determine what they're going to give you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I tell a lot of people that I'm not a medical person by no means.
Right.
A lot of times I can't even pronounce or spell whatever it is they say they got wrong with them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Sure. Right.
There's
yeah.
Google. Google can help me spell.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's so valuable and so important, and I hope everyone stops in or checks it out just to find out exactly and gets the information and helps out. And I think right now, if you're listening and a veteran maybe that hasn't come and talked to Andy and seeing if there's anything that possibly any benefits or what they can do, please, we encourage them to do this, and or if they're for whatever reason got turned down at one point, there's no reason not to come back and see if
Yeah, absolutely.
if something's changed, because there's new laws all the time, right?
Yeah, that was one of the things. Somebody came in the other day and they said that they was turned down and said they couldn't get anything. And I said, well, a few things have changed over the last few years. I said, when's the last time you filed a claim? It was like 1999. It's like, okay. And 2022 was a big one. I mean, there's been some little ones along the way,
Right.
but 2022 changed the world with the PACT Act. So it's definitely helped. It's not just. I mean, there's still people who get denied.
Yeah.
Every day for every 3 I get service connected, I'll get a denial. It happens. But then, if you look at it and break it down, it'll usually tell you why.
Yeah.
A lot of times people just see red if they get denied, and then they just, they're not reading why.
Mm-hmm.
Or they get something and they think it should be more. It usually tells you what it takes.
Yeah.
To get the next level,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and usually right in the verbiage there, it'll tell us. So that's my job, is to break that down to try to explain. Okay, they're denying you because of this, but they say if you have more evidence,
Mm-hmm.
then bring it up.
Yeah.
And then that's how we can refile stuff.
Sure.
It's called a supplemental claim, but you have to have something new and relevant. That's the term that the VA. It's something they've never looked at before, and it's something that goes towards your claim, new and relevant. Mm-hmm. And so I tell people that. Go get a diagnosis, another procedure, even a letter from your doctor. A nexus letter is what that's called, nexus. And the nexus letter is just trying to draw a link between what you've got going on and service. And so a lot of times your private doctors will do this. Your VA doctors cannot do this. But your private folks that use private doctors, specialists and stuff like that, a lot of times they can do a nexus letter, and that weighs heavy. The VA will look at that and weigh that towards that claim, because they have a rule that if it's a 50% that you're going to, like, you're halfway there, then if you're 50% but you're not 60 or 51%, they're supposed to still err on the side of the veteran, that they're saying there's a 50% chance that this person got this wrong with them because of the service. So a lot of times people don't realize that if they get denied, that means you're not at 50% of. Because they've got, like I said, they've got some rules set in place, some laws, that if it's at least 50% chance that we've done this to you, the military's done this to you, they have to give it to you. So there's a lot of times that just that little bit extra evidence, that letter, that nexus letter or whatever, can help. So that's why we always tell people, once they get denied, let's read why.
Right.
See how close we are.
Right.
Because if you're claiming something you don't really have, that's a null and void.
Right.
But if you've got medical evidence, you twisted your ankle, you jumped out of the back of a whatever, and you got evidence that you got hurt on active duty, that ought to help.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, and then, like you said, and just sometimes maybe you didn't give enough details. Maybe they just need a little more, which is clarity, which makes sense, and that's where you come into play to help out. And I love that.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should, again, have the advocate, have that help, and so that they can get the benefits and what they deserve and what they need,
Yes.
And so I love that. I love that. Well, let's go back to let's brag on those ladies auxiliary. How wonderful! You talk about a backbone.
Yes.
And the way they of course they lay the reefs. They're so faithful.
Yes.
And then to do all of this, getting this food prepared.
They always get the food prepared.
They do wonderful.
The Ladies Auxiliary from the American Legion they're the main ones, and then the others help. I'm not going to take away from the other auxiliaries.
Right.
But the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary, if it wasn't for them, I think this town would starve to death. They always do the meals for the Veterans Day and the Memorial Day, but they do other stuff throughout the year, and they do meals for. We've had veterans that have passed away that then the family wants the dinner. They usually take care of the dinner, and so not only the two big ones, the Veterans Day and Memorial Day, but anything that comes up along the way, they're always up for doing it. They're part of it takes all three of the clubs, but they're instrumental with the food basket situation as well. They raise money because not everything's donated. There's some stuff that gets donated and stuff, but a lot of times you got to buy this stuff, so they have to raise money. And so they raise money all year long, and I try to get them grants when I can. Right now, the grant program for the state's kind of dried up at the very moment with all the change of the upper management all the way to the state level. So right now, we've got other organizations that are stepping in to help pay for this. And this particular go around, we got donations from the local DAV chapter 72. They made a generous donation to the Ladies Auxiliary for this dinner. The DAR local chapter, they made a donation, and then the Washington County Veterans Memorial organization, where the monuments that are on the courthouse lawn, a lot of people don't realize that's actually an organization. I'm part of that organization, but it's separate from the actual county. It's just called the Washington County Veterans Memorial, but it's we made a donation as well, so we kind of hopefully covered most of what the grant would have got us, but hopefully the grant money will come back in the future, and we'll be able to get monies to come into the community to help. Like I said, we got the ladies always want to volunteer and do the cooking, which is great. I wish we had 3 or 4 organizations like that, but we have one, so let's support them. If you ever want to make a donation, the Ladies Auxiliary, they said they spend every bit of their money back into this community, feeding this community and donating food and stuff. So if anybody ever wants to feeling that they need to do something, a donation to the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary would be a wonderful organization to donate to.
Right. I love that. Well, I think, you go to this ceremony, and it's such a touching ceremony, and it's such a good ceremony, and then like you said, it's usually cold, so then you go to the American Legion to and it's warm, and then you have this warm meal. I just feel like sometimes we're not realizing all that goes into this.
Yes.
And that's where I really those ladies, they make it look easy.
Yes.
They don't.
They just because they just do it. They just know.
I know. They make it look easy, and you're sitting there and you're eating, and you're not realizing all of the work again that went into this. And I really love to give them high praise.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do is just and before the program, just step back a second. If anybody comes to the square early, the courthouse will be open, and down in the basement, the Daughters of the American Revolution, the DAR ladies, will have coffee, hot chocolate coffee, and cookies.
Yes.
So you come in out of the cold for a minute. Yeah, if you get there early, you get a parking spot, and you want to get out of the cold, come on into the basement of the courthouse. There'll be a few chairs down there, and there'll be people talking and communicating down there. So, and then like I said, the program will start promptly at 11 o'clock. So if you do get there early, you want to get out of the cold for a minute, that would be get you a warm cup of coffee or hot chocolate.
Yes, and you guys do that, and I love it, and I think that's so, and it's good fellowship too. It's fun time, to eat a cookie and drink some hot chocolate or coffee, but usually I'm the coffee person, but who knows, it might be cold enough, it might be hot chocolate this year, but it's a good fellowship, and I love all this. And here's the fun part about this is so much tradition. This is not like something, I love that we know what time, we know what we're doing. Andy, this isn't just carrying on the tradition.
It is. The thing is, everybody's like, oh, it's such a wonderful program. It's like, well, the road was already paved.
Been there for years, and that's what I love.
Kevin always had a nice script. He inherited that script from Pat. He tweaked it.
Yeah.
I've tweaked it a little bit. But the road's already paved. All I got to do is fill in, I'd like to try to get a different speaker every time, try to get a different musical salute every time. You know, so it's like, that's all I'm doing. Plug and play.
Sure.
You know, and then I have to reach out sometimes to get help filling them spots. You know, not knowing everybody. I mean, I'm from here, but like I said, I don't know who has musical talent, or I know a ton of guys that tell a great story, but most guys don't want to get up in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Sure.
And I say guys and gals both that are great storytellers or have a tremendous amount of stuff in their head.
Oh,
that they
it's
can
a
tell,
wonderful story.
and I cannot get them to.
I know.
You know, because most people just don't. They just, you know.
Yeah, public speaking's very.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it, but I'm not scared of it.
No, you do a great job. Well, I think everybody, and I think it's very important and very, very valuable, and I love that. And I think, you know, it's hard because we, you know, when in Holly, in your medical world over there at Salem Crossing, and Andy in your world, and you know, we just talked about new ways of doing things. In my world, we're always the latest and the greatest, and always trying to change, and you have to roll with it, and you know, and this is new, but this is what I love, the traditions that have stayed the same.
Yes.
And I love that, and I love that this has been a solid on this. You know what I mean? You know, you go back to every, you know, because WSLM has been a part of this, which we've been honored to be a part of this. My dad, you know, took huge pride in doing this and loved this. This was very valuable. I mean, you would know, we knew when Memorial Day or Veterans Day was coming about in our family, you know. Yes. And you always had the master of ceremonies. You always had the attending flags. You always had the Pledge of Allegiance, you know. And I think to have all this and continue doing it, and, you know, this format has always been, you know what I mean? And this is, you know, from my little childhood looking at the, you know, the flyer, you know what I mean? This is exactly what you'd see every year, and I love that, and I love tradition of that. And like you said, though, we have different people, and I love that, bringing more people and bringing different people into this, and how valuable this is.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's something that, you know, obviously everybody looks forward to. We try to get folks that's never been there or never been involved, try to get them involved in the community and stuff. With the Boy Scouts, you know, they see that, they look at us and the veterans that stand there and play the taps or whatever. We're part of a community, you know, and getting it, instilling it in the littler ones is it's invaluable. You know, so that's one of the things that I like to see is whenever we're trying to include younger folks that might not quite understand why they're doing it right now, but they will.
Yes,
they will.
And attending the flag, teaching the respect of the flag. You know, we drive by, you know, when you're out on the road or whatever, and you see these beautiful flags, which I love when I see like a flag just, you know, waving in the wind. I love
Perfect.
that. Just like chef kiss. But you don't understand like how that flag has been handled, you know, from the rolling it up to the putting it, you know, and hooking it, and the ceremony of the flag is so, I think it's so sacred. It's so special.
Yes.
You know, and to honor and to how to hold it, to make sure it does not touch the ground. You know, I remember learning this years ago. They don't do it anymore, but the cheerleaders, we would have to go out and put the flag up every football game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so we had to learn, you know,
That's
exactly how to stand, and you know, by no means were we as good as the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts, they got it. They got that really good.
Yeah, but flag etiquette.
Yes, and learning about how to fold it, how to unfold it, and how to stand, and to make sure it did not touch. And then we would have to put it on, and then we would raise the flag. So that was years ago, and of course we don't do that anymore. Yeah. And but I have, when I watch the Boy Scouts do this, and they're so young, I just love that they're learning this so much. I'm like, oh, take this in, because, you know, in high school, did I take it in? Probably not. But do I realize, you know,
you realize it now, though.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's just fantastic. I love it, and I love that, and to watch our flags and to drive by our community and drive by and see, I think it's just outstanding. You know, love that. And then of course, you know, let's talk about, you know, the singer Tanya Webb's. She's fantastic, and I know she was. Don't you love it when people you ask them and. Yes, I'd love to do that.
Oh, I know.
Don't you?
That was so refreshing.
I mean, and really, to be honest, like you said, it's a work day. It's a very busy day for people.
Yeah.
And what a blessing when people, I'd love to be a part. Yes.
Yep.
You know, how nice, you know what I mean? And she's fantastic. So also, I don't want to leave anybody out. The speaker, Delbert Ray, how wonderful. I mean, to get Delbert Ray, I mean, talk about exciting,
Yeah, he's very, he's a very positive.
Yes.
He gives off a positive aura. And just knowing him, and I was just reading his bio here, he was in the service for a little while in the 70s. He's been a life member of the DAV for years and years, and been the deputy commander, and now is current commander of that local chapter, DAV Chapter 72. Anybody with a disability, VA veterans disability, can join the DAV. It's a one-time fee. It's a lifetime fee. But this guy, he's been selling insurance. It says he's a multi-line insurance license for 44 years.
Oh my goodness.
And I know he does a lot of singing with gospel type stuff. Travels. I think according to this, he's traveled around the multiple states singing with a quartet. I didn't know that.
I love
That's
that.
the thing. You can know somebody for a long time, and then you read their bio or something like, "Oh, I did." Like, this guy also has time to do this.
Your degree of coolness even went up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so cool. And the funny thing is, when I asked Delbert, he'd said yes. Well, I said, great. Like I said, I love it when somebody wants to do it. And then I met with him. He came in the office one day. We was doing something. He goes, he's also giving the speech earlier that morning at the high school.
Oh, I love that.
So at 9 o'clock, he'll be speaking at the high school. Because I asked him, I was kidding with him. I said, "So are you going to give the same speech here? hope nobody goes from the school over here."
Yeah.
No, I was kidding. But no, because the school program is at 9, and then like I said, our program will start at 11. So anybody that wants to go to both should be able to go to both.
Oh, absolutely.
There's still to be citizens and folks that'll go over to the school, because it's a combined school thing this year.
Doing it all together. Right. Yeah.
So that's why we didn't get the kids to come do the singing and stuff like that. They're keeping them kind of under wraps. So it's still a blessing to get the Boy Scouts for the school to let the Boy Scout kids come out, and then the military club, they're going to let a couple kids come out to help us out. You know, setting up stuff. The kids always help us out, setting up chairs and handing out stuff and stuff like that. And I know they know. I assume they get what they're doing. The little bit of community service, just getting out there helping somebody.
Absolutely.
Thanking somebody, open the door for some, because most of the folks that come to the like this Veterans Day thing, they're typically our older generation in our community. And so I love being able to have the kids come out to kind of help them out. Sometimes we got a beautiful lawn, but it's still a lawn. Sure. So you still got to be kind of careful walking around with the different steps and the different things, how things go. So hopefully, they can be there to help assist or whatever. And like I said, whether they realize they're doing something good or not, they'll realize it later.
Oh, absolutely.
Just getting your name out there, getting your face out there, helping somebody, thanking somebody, shaking somebody's hand.
Absolutely.
Just any little thing in today's world with everything that's been going on. Just anything like that is huge.
Right. So. Well, and I think the fellowship of everything. Everybody fellowshipping. People you might not see all the time. We get so busy with our own lives going on things, and then to get the fellowship or to find out someone else's story. I love people, and I love their stories. And everybody's got so unique. Everybody's got their very own story, and I love hearing the different speakers, and I love just the fellowship of talking with, some are veterans or just people, that are there, and maybe their dad, mom, or somebody special was a veteran,
Yeah, I get that a lot. Folks come in and, they'll stand at my door and they don't know what to do. And I say, well, come on in, can I help you? And they'll be like, well, I'm not a veteran, but my dad was, or my mom was, or whatever. And then that kind of breaks the ice. Like, they're nervous to talk, but then once I kind of get them talking, then I can usually figure out what they're wanting. Sometimes they just want to talk.
Yeah, sure.
I've got. You got to realize I got veterans that they're by themselves. They live by themselves or whatever, and so sometimes I might be the only person to talk to, or can understand talking military stuff or whatever like that. So I've got some of my folks just come in to talk, which is fine. That's okay. We're here to help, and whatever we can do, we can try to figure it out. But it's just funny whenever I got one fella. He comes in every now and then. We'll chat for 20 or 30 minutes, and it's like, did you need something? Like, I've learned now that if they don't come out saying they need something, they just want to talk.
Absolutely.
And
well,
so
sure,
I'm here for that. I'm here for that as well.
I love that. I love that. Well, it's always good stories. So let's go back and let's explain this. From the presentation of colors. What and explain a little bit about that. What is that? And I mean I do know, but go into detail a bit.
Well, it's just it's ceremonial. So when they say presentation of colors, it's if you ever notice, the American flag it's not ever supposed to be at a weird angle. It's American flag's up, and then the state or American Legion flag or DAV flag, whoever else is up there, they all are supposed to bow, is the term, to the flag. So when they say it, tending the colors, that's one of the things that the American flag never wavers. The post, the pole,
right.
It never lays. I used to be the one that held the flag for years and years and years at these ceremonies, and the American flag, it's always upright, and that's why they talk about tending the colors or tending the flag or whatever. Now, when you hear the term that with the Boy Scouts, they're usually folding it, unfolding it, but same thing. Anytime the flag's moving, anytime something's going, then everybody's at attention. Everybody in uniform. Everybody in uniform or everybody in the details at attention, and usually if you're not carrying something else, you're saluting. If you have a weapon, your weapon is straight up. But if you do not have a weapon or a flag, then your arms up. And so anytime the flag's moving, anytime something like that's going on, it's just a ceremonial thing. I can't even explain.
No, I love that. Yeah. It just some of these for those that have not been. Yeah. And it's a beautiful ceremony, and it's like you said, about a half hour, and again, it'll be cold.
It should be cold,
and so bundle up. That's okay.
What's the temperature supposed to be? We heard you.
27.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my goodness.
I think by 11 it should be hopefully above freezing.
Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
There might be frost on the pumpkin, okay?
Yeah. Definitely be frost on the pumpkin that day.
It says high of 44 is what I just read.
It'll warm up, but our program will be at 11, so that's not going to be 44 at 11.
No, it's not going to be 44.
So please try to come out, but please bundle up. I mean, it's like I said, it's 20, 30 minutes of sacrifice for the folks in front of us.
But look at the sacrifices made for us.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at is the work before us, the sacrifice that went in. The cold, 30 degrees is nothing compared to 30 below zero. So, that's there's a lot of people went through a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
Right. And Holly, Salem Crossing, you guys are fairly new at some working with Andy with the veterans. Salem Crossing, you guys have.
Well, we've always celebrated our veterans every year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So since I've been there, we celebrate them, and we have staff members. My favorite, Brent Deckard.
Yeah. Does everything.
Yeah. Maintenance extraordinaire.
Chicken.
Winter chicken dinners. But we celebrate him. We celebrate our residents, and we're very, very thankful for our veterans.
Right. But you've got kind of now for the rehab. You've got some kind of a.
There's a contract of sorts for the VA. Yeah.
Yes, love that. And I think that's wonderful. And Andy, that makes it so nice, for our community,
Yeah.
To have that. Yeah, so I love that. All right, here are some facts about Veterans Day, okay? Andy, don't cheat, okay?
I don't even have it. You got the whole
Okay, okay, question. Or was it not renamed in 1954?
Yeah, the Veterans Day got...
Oh, I want to see a Holly.
Oh.
Holly.
Was what renamed? No, I don't know.
Veterans Day.
Sure.
Okay, go Andy, okay.
No, go ahead and tell, you've got
No, you got it,
because I don't know the exact...
Well, yes. President Dwight Eisenhower signed legislation to change the name to Veterans Day in honor of all those who have served in wartime and peacetime. How awesome! Okay. Okay, these are 5 facts. Does it or does it not honor veterans living and dead?
Does not.
Okay. Unlike Memorial Day, which is for those who passed away, while serving. Veterans Day is a day to thank and honor all of those served in the U.S. military.
Yes.
I love these, that you have this on the
Yeah.
back of this. So when you get to the ceremony, make sure you get one of these flyers because this is really cool, okay? Is it always on November the 11th?
Yes. That is one of the so-called.
Andy wrote this.
This is one of the holidays that we honor that is on that day. A lot of times the government has stepped in and made the federal they moved a lot of the federal holidays to a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
If you've noticed that, and it might not necessarily be on that day, but yeah. Veterans Day, November 11th, will always be on the 11th, no matter what day it's on. So,
I love that. Yeah, the date of the federal holiday is always on November the 11th, regardless of the day of the week, though its date was temporarily moved between 1971 and 1977, but we're back to November the 11th. Okay. Do other countries celebrate? Holly, this one's for you. What do you think?
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I mean, I don't know 100%. I would say they honor their veterans, maybe in a different way. Probably not the way the USA does, though. It would be different, so it's different.
All right.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Because of the international nature of World War I, other countries like Canada and the United Kingdom also honor their veterans on or around November 11th.
That's good to know.
That's very nice. Yes, I really appreciate this. Yes, yes. So I think these are great. The facts about Veterans Day. I love this. I think it's fantastic, and I love that. And I hope everybody comes out. I do want to kind of go over. Veterans Day. Don't forget, will be this coming Tuesday, and there's a program at the school at 9 a.m. And you have time to get warmed up, get your warmed up, and put those layers on, and head over to the courthouse.
Get your coffee or hot cocoa and cookie in the basement before you go back out.
And that'll get your motor revved up, ready
That's
for
right.
a beautiful lunch at the Legion, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Andy, you've worked hard on this, and I want to say this is a lot. We always recognize, and thank you for putting this together and for our veterans and honoring all those who have served, and thank you for this, Andy. I want to personally say that. I think that's fantastic.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I also want to, I'm going to go just a little bit of a side real quick. I want to remind everybody, this coming Saturday, I love our community. Look what all we're doing in our community. This is really cool. They are putting together the First Baptist Church right here is this coming Saturday from 12 to 2, and I think we all need to come and just fellowship. I think it's so fun. Those in need dinner this holiday season. It's going to be a warm meal and some company. It's a holiday style meal, holiday style meal. Okay, received on, or if you can't make it, they will deliver it. I love that. They will deliver it. And you can set up a pre-ordering. You can call 812-883-5460. And Andy, I want you to take this information with you, because if you have any veterans that come in your office today or talk with you or know somebody maybe that is a shut-in, they will deliver it.
Yes.
Before I forget to announce also, Salem Crossing and Meadowview are having a little competition, a friendly competition. We're doing a food drive so we can give back to the local food bank. So we're doing a competition. So bring your canned goods or all your dry goods or whatever you can to Salem Crossing.
And then on Tuesday, I'll have Krista or Tracy saying bringing it to Meadowview Healthcare Center. Yes, exactly.
But we want to give. We don't care who wins. We're all winners if we can give back. So.
All right. So what's the deadline to get all of our food?
I believe it's the 30th.
Okay.
November
all right. We
30th.
got some. Yes.
Look, but yeah, we
I
got
love
all
that.
month.
We'll keep talking about it. Yes, just keep reminding everybody. And if you can do, when you're at the store, this is what I love. Like, just pick up a can or two. It's not gonna hurt your, just a can or two or something, or or pick up something little by little, and then but it helps out.
Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. I'm so glad. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, Holly, I love that, and I love the competition of that. That's
because we're we got that competitor drive in
Oh,
us,
you
know.
do. Oh.
Just like when we had the softball game
Oh,
years back.
that softball game was so much
yeah,
fun. Oh my goodness,
so
I love that. Yeah,
we love our sister community, but we also love having fun like this too.
absolutely. Game on, right?
That's right. Game on. Game on.
And I know both of you, both buildings. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a dandy. Okay. Yeah. You talk about back the semi up. There's going to be some food brought. So yay! I'm so happy for our food bank. That's wonderful. But again, this coming Saturday from 12 to 2. Call if you know anybody that's shut in that needs a meal, 812-883-5460. And then closer to Thanksgiving, of course, Mama Rose's will be the rock stars and be doing that. And they'll be giving away their Thanksgiving dinners, which are so good.
Yum, yum.
And then today, also, real quick, when I said Mama Rose's, don't forget about
like,
the
pizza buffet.
Andy.
I'll be there.
I know. Salad and soup. It's like, I know. It's like, yeah. I have my format, but then sometimes it's funny because I'll go with different soups. You know, I always change. I don't know. It just depends on what day it is, but I love the different varieties. So yeah. So thank them for that. But we've got a wonderful community, a lot going on, and we appreciate all that they do for everything. So Andy, keep up the great work, and come see your office right there at the courthouse. You got something else?
Yeah, there's just another shout out on Veterans Day at 9 a.m. I don't have it. I think it's 9 a.m. 9 a.m. The Austin from the Metaview, that does the organizing stuff. He's a veteran, and I've been talking to him. He's putting on a like a ruck, just a veteran ruck thing. So you don't have to run. Most guys are going to walk. There's going to be probably people in wheelchairs being pushed and stuff like that. But it's going to be Veterans Day morning at 9 on the Monon South Trail.
Yes.
And they're going to start there at the one right off of Main Street, where the big overhang is at, or overhead thing. That's where it'll start. You go as far as you want to go, as far as you can go. It's just a fun thing. I think this is the first time trying it. I think maybe next year it might turn into a 5K, maybe turn into something.
Oh, nice.
This one here kind of, Austin put this together, and we're just trying to get some folks, put it out there. It's all over Facebook, but like I said, a lot of my seasoned veterans maybe not do Facebook or whatever. But like I said, just come out to honor the vets. If you can walk, a lot of people will probably just come out and just kind of do a little cheer thing to get them going.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing, because wherever you go, you got to come back.
That's right.
Because it's that's the kick on that one. But anyway, I think working with the Metaview, with Josh and them, and then now knowing the crossing things, you guys have outreach as well. I'm assuming that in the future we'll be able to do a little bit, do a little more and advertise a little better. But this one here is something we kind of put together. And anyway, it's no sign up or anything. Just kind of come out. Like I said, it'll be a kickoff at 9 down there. So anyway, that was the only shout out I wanted to.
Yes, we've been talking about on Coffee Club, and I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, so very exciting. So a lot to do and a lot of honoring going on, right? So everyone, let's try to get everywhere, right? Batman.
Yep.
That's right.
All right, let's thank our sponsors, Holly.
We'd like to thank Metaview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Lane Consulting, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, and Temple & Temple. Thanks to our great sponsors again.
All right, best Friday ever.
Of reason in an unreasonable world. The Rick Burgess Show.
A brand new hour starting now. Thank you for being here with us, America. Not only are you all out there, but we're now looking at some of you in here. The faces from all over filling up the box seats. They have a little bonus today. Gary's here and trying to leave. Got his Sunday best on. They may want to get a picture with you before you go. So we'll do that coming up. His look. So, Greg, I know that we want to peer into the. Take us to Greg World. I know you've.
Lisa's been sick.
Boy, Lily been sick.
You know, she keeps the grandkids, and she caught hand, foot, and mouth disease from them.
Good night.
Which, as an adult, they say it's a lot worse. So it's been over a month, and she'll get over something, and then now she's positive for RSV.
No.
Yeah, but the funny part. So medicines, and you know how it is. So I'm coming down the driveway on the way home yesterday. And I'll see out of the corner of my eye something pink, and the closer I get, it's Lisa with her pink jacket on, and she's outside. And I'm like, what is she doing? So I get closer, and she's standing in front of a tree and has her hands on it and is barefooted standing on the bottom of the tree, right in front of the ground.
She's barefooted in a pink jacket.
I thought she's lost her mind.
You thought what's finally happened?
Yeah. Anyway, it's some kind of grounding, tree therapy.
What?
It's supposed to heal you.
She's grounding, Greg?
Yeah.
She's grounding?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what she's talking
She
about.
said, I've tried everything. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like, I thought she'd lost her mind. I said, what are you doing? And then she was telling me about grounding. And she started going into it, how it's something from the earth. And then I remembered, I was watching Game Day Saturday, and Diego Pavia does the same thing. He takes his shoes off and walks in grass to get grounded. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. So Lisa obviously didn't get it from him. I don't know